Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. Remember, today is a brand new day, and now is a brand new moment. Today I have with me the energy of a collective eye channel called the Ascended, who want to talk about how you are enslaved and steps that we can take to get ourselves free. They say the key mechanism for enslavement is your body, to keep you trapped and bound in the world. That is something that is actively and rigorously being perpetuated onto everybody today. How your body is being used to enslave you, to keep you trapped in this physical dimension so that you can't get out. You just keep repeating the cycle of birth and death. They said until you begin to make that distinction between your awareness, your mind and your body, then you will be bound by this world for many lifetimes, some of you. The body is the easiest element that can be fooled into believing certain things. Your senses are only designed to allow you to evaluate and appraise the process of creation that you are here to learn in this physical dimension. And yet there is a challenge to that, in that you believe that the sensation of your senses is more real to you than you are to yourself. That is to say that sounds and smells and touches and tastes are given more a validation of being more real than you yourself are. So you validate this world, what smells good, what feels good, what is pleasurable to your senses, and you deem that to be the only source of life. And yet it is very clear from certain observations that, as you have many individuals on this planet that do not have arms or legs, but they still live, they do not have touch in the same way you have touch. The experience of being is not dependent upon the physical organism alone, but many of you believe it is, that without your body you would not exist. And we want to clarify that that is not true. Without your body you can still exist, and you do still exist, but whether you are conscious of that fact is another story. So enslavement is to keep you entrenched in the body as the sole place from which you can recognize who you are. And again, because the body is temporal, it is illusionary, it is not the true nature and source of who you are. Our goal today is very simple: to bring to your attention that you can be caught up in the flesh as the only mechanism to define who you are, so that when the body ceases to exist, you will, for all intents and purposes, become what we call unconscious. Like going into a deep sleep. When you lose your body, if you have not realized who you are, then the body will cease to function and you will simply become unconscious. Just the same way as when you place your body in bed at night and it falls asleep and you say, I fell asleep. And we say, no, you became unconscious. Your identification with the body is so intense that whenever the body goes into a state, you go into that state with it, forgetting who you are. Now, to ensure that you remain enslaved to this physical dimension, enslaved by that term we mean that you end up being here to serve the needs and wants of others without necessary consideration for yourself. And you'll divest yourself of your rights and your freedoms and your liberties in order to even fight for that sense of illusion. So such things as those things that sound pleasing to your ears, or are pleasing to the taste, or pleasing to the touch, they keep you entrenched in the body, and you think that the source of sensation is the body, but the source of sensation is your perception of what the body experiences. You are the source of perception, not your physical body. Now, to ensure that you remain trapped in the body very thoroughly, one of the other elements that is brought into play is this substance of experience you call emotion. There are different vibratory frequencies of emotion. The lowest of these frequencies is absolute rage, is the lowest frequency of emotion. And in that state, you are truly bound in the body as if it is more real than anything else in existence, including yourself, or your God, or your angels, or those who have ascended their energy higher than you. For those of you that begin to surrender your attachment to the body, your enslavement to it, you decide that the senses of your body aren't as important as your sense of well-being and happiness. For those of you that are in that process, you'll begin to discover that then the element of emotion comes into play when you start to take care of your body instead of expecting to be taken care of by your body, as many of you expect your body to make you feel good. And as a result, you are seeking to get sensations stimulated. But when you transcend that subjectivity, when you are no longer dependent upon the body to make you feel a certain way, then the level of enslavement to matter changes, and so the mechanism had to be modified to keep you in enslavement. And so the function of emotional qualities in the lower vibrational range, from rage to mild irritation, and all those vibrational frequencies in between mild irritation and great rage. This would include your anger and your guilt and your shame and your self-doubt, your anxiousness, your fear, your mistrust. All these lower vibrational frequencies keep you stuck in the body under the illusion that something in this world is responsible for the way you feel. And yes, there are things in this world that can happen to the body that might not be good to the body, but that is not something you want to get in the illusion of believing then that the body is the source of your identity. It is simply the instrument. Now, your physical organism is based on a sensory apparatus of sight, sound, and touch, and taste, and smell that allow you to comprehend and apprehend the effects that you cause in this physical world, or effects that others cause in this physical world. Without your physical body, you would still exist if you were conscious enough to do so. But that requires that you divest yourself of this other layer of manipulation in the lower vibrational frequency of fear. That you must not get caught up in the stimulation, the excitation of the energies of fear, anger, judgment, guilt, shame, fault-finding, criticism. These are all elements of emotional qualities that keep you bound to the flesh, thinking that the experience of the body is more real than the experience of your being. If you can begin to relieve yourself of the emotional impediments that are being imposed upon you by the mechanisms that are stimulating your senses, and there are very numerous things that are stimulating your senses, your sports and your media and your technology, your politicians, your medicines, your universities. All of these things seek to keep you entrenched in the body as the primary locus of your identity, and therefore what happens to the body keeps you trapped in it. And then you will stay in the realm of somebody is causing me pain in this world, somebody's making me feel this way. And then you are bound then in this realm of enslavement, where then others of this world are then responsible for what you think and what you feel. And the truth is, there are those in this world that are causing you to think and feel what you think and feel. And so the authority of your thoughts is the third area where you are going to find yourself enslaved. The body is the first level to keep you sensually excited about sensation, to keep you bound into this realm. The second layer is emotional qualities in the lower vibrational spectrum from irritation to deep rage and the vast range of shades of lower vibrational energies that are those emotional states. If you are able to surrender your subjectivity to the senses of the body, if you are able to surrender your subjectivity to the stimulation of emotional excitation, fears and such, then the realm of thought becomes the third area where you are enslaved. And again, many of you are, and have been for many, many, many lifetimes, are entranced and entrenched in the physical world as if it is the only place for your existence to be experienced. And the realm of thought becomes this third layer of enslavement. The thoughts that you have in your mind can liberate you or enslave you. If you have thoughts in your mind, of course, that are fearful, that are in alignment with the lower vibrational emotional spectrum, then your thoughts will be a layer that will convince you that something again in this world is the cause and effect of your conditions and experiences exclusively. If you can surrender your attachment to or the manipulation of your mind by those who would give you ideas to be fearful, to not believe in yourself, to not trust one another, to not love, to not be creative, to not be innovative, to believe that you're helpless, to believe that you need somebody else to take care of you all the time, when you can begin to surrender your attachment to such thoughts, you will get free of the third layer. And then the point of self-reflection can begin when your mind, that thinking mechanism, when your emotions and your physical body are placed into a state where they are not manipulated or captured by the senses, by the emotions, by the thoughts that you've acquired from this world, then the process of self-realization begins. The process of self-realization begins at that moment, where you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions, you are not your body. You are the one that is capable of changing, orchestrating thought, changing and orchestrating emotional energy, changing and orchestrating physical manifestation. And this can only begin to happen effectively when your perception of self is no longer bound by the exclusivity of the senses, the overstimulation of emotional qualities, and the thoughts that can keep you enslaved to low vibrational frequencies. The vibrational frequencies of irritation to rage, when they are surrendered, will liberate you from this function of believing you have to fight or run from things in this world in order to find your safety, your fulfillment, and your happiness. Once thought and emotion are under your direct and personal authority, once what your mind thinks, what emotional qualities you are experiencing, what actions and stimulations you allow to influence your body, when they are under your personal dominion and not under the authority of others who say, think this, believe this, try this, do this. When you come to this place where you're no longer bound by thought, emotion, and sensation, self-realization begins, and you can then begin to honestly evaluate the vibrational nature of that which is being presented to you as that which is going to either raise you up in consciousness or keep you stuck in the illusionary reality that matter is more real than you are yourself. Please understand this. The moment you have the ability to differentiate yourself from your thoughts, your emotions, and your biology, at that moment the process of self-realization begins. And self-realization is the awakening of your soul to remembering that you are an extension of divine creation, made in the image of consciousness that is able to create and manifest conditions of existence from your consciousness. That you are able to assert a very different authority over your physical body, your emotional field, and your realm of thought, But until that time comes, then you will remain subjective to the stimulations of the world, the excitations, the way in which you are manipulated into being afraid, being angry, being judgmental, being uncertain, because there's great manipulation going on to keep you enslaved, so many of you enslaved, into believing that you need something out in this world to ensure that you are happy. And so many of you have indulged in this illusion. And it seems that there are more of you being unhappy than there are being happy. And how can that be if that which in the world is going to give you greater fulfillment were to give you greater fulfillment? Do you see the hypocrisy there? The world cannot reveal you to yourself. You must reveal yourself to yourself by stepping away from the illusionary elements of creation that keep you trapped in certain conditions of it. To recognize that your body is but an instrument through which you allow your creative consciousness to flow and manifest conditions that you can observe in the world around you, that you do all the time, and each and every one of you is doing this, whether you are aware of this or not. When you can get to that place where the influences of the environment can no longer make you choose to be trapped in a certain quality of emotion, to keep you angry, to keep you judgmental, to keep you critical, to keep you fearful, to keep you ashamed. There's great effort to keep all of you, or at least the greater majority of you, in fear, in these lower vibrational planes where you stay stuck in the physical world, subjective to the causes and effects of matter, time, and space exclusively, rather than having the conscious realization to activate your capacity to deliberately and intentionally create the conditions of your life. That you are a conscious creator, able to manufacture conditions of experience that would be pleasing to you in this world, and not to depend wholly upon those in this world to provide that for you, because you are that divine creator. But these layers of enslavement are very well established, and have been well established more so in the last 2,000 years than in previous times. And until that process of self-evaluation, of realizing that your body is not who you are, it is but an instrument through which you can express your consciousness, or an instrument through which you can remain subjective to the body. If you do not understand your capacity to orchestrate, transform, transmute conditions of time and space and matter as an act of your conscious and creative will, then you will indeed remain subjective or dependent upon something in the world to provide you with liberation from your suffering. And as we have just said but a few moments ago, that the vast majority of you are seeking amelioration from your suffering from the world. And yet you are the source of that liberation from your suffering. And you must understand that there is a deliberate and intentional effort to keep you enslaved to your emotions, to keep you enslaved to your bodies, to keep you enslaved to thoughts. And most of these thoughts and most of these emotions were given to you. They were stimulated in you as we speak to you now. There are certain elements of energy being stimulated in you even now by the communication of this vibration to you. And so too when you watch your televisions and you observe your sports and you listen to your politicians and you listen to other beings, they can stimulate in you a reality that you can accept and find yourself bound by. The idea that there's something wrong with you is the most prevalently and most insidious idea that's very carefully presented to you. That there's something wrong with you, there's something wrong with your neighbors, there's something wrong with everything around you. To believe that something is wrong, and the very nature of that belief will necessitate that you will experience that which is wrong for you to experience. And then you will be told that there's somebody else outside of yourself that is responsible for this wrong that is going on in your life. therefore keeping you further away from your own capacity to ameliorate your suffering and produce solutions to your suffering as an effect of your own creative consciousness and your own ability to stimulate imaginative solutions for your life. Emotional qualities that liberate you from subjectivity to fear and doubt and guilt and shame, to liberate yourself from these things deliberately, consciously, and effectively. You are capable of doing this, but because you are so bound by the mechanisms that have entrained you to believe that your body is the only place through which you can experience life, and that certain emotional qualities keep you bound in believing that what you are feeling is because of this world and you have to do something in this world to change what you feel. And if that were so, then why has not the world gotten to be a better place? And the world has not gotten to be a better place because the change does not happen in the world. The change happens through your consciousness. But as long as you are dependent on others to provide you with the solution to your problems, then you will be dependent upon others to provide the solutions to your problems. And once you have done that, you have given up your creative authority. Whether you are challenged from a social economic perspective, whether you are marginalized by the conditions of poverty that you call, all of these symptoms are effects of your conditioning to believe that the solution to your problems exists only in the world. And yet you are the solution in learning how to fundamentally change your consciousness, to utilize the function of your imagination to delightfully engage in emotional qualities that delight you in your mind, that excite you, that thrill you, and then to stimulate your own function of emotional qualities, which will result in very different manifestations occurring as a direct result of your own creative consciousness, and not a result of your dependency upon others that wish to keep you enslaved to this physical dimension exclusively, enslaved to your body, enslaved to your emotions, enslaved to your thoughts, enslaved to judgment, disconnected from your incredible power to create, independent of others, and interdependently with others who are consciously aware enough that you can work together and create wonderful things and experiences and manifestations, but knowing full well that the manifestation is but temporary. All of this physical world is but temporary. And you will not find relief from suffering in this world. You will find relief from suffering within your own creative consciousness. And so you have been given wars and famines and diseases to think about, to keep you in this emotion of fear, which is a lower vibrational spectrum that prevents you from even considering self-realization. And you're given fear and idea about someone will come into a position of power and harm you and do terrible things to you. And again, this fear keeps you bound to the world, hoping that something out there, you may make something out there that will make you free. All the while it keeps you disconnected and separate from your own creative consciousness, your own willfulness to be able to imaginatively stimulate into existence a new life for yourself that does not depend upon somebody else's interpretation of what they think your life ought to be for you. You understand this. That there's much to this world that is wondrous and delightful and beautiful. The natural world is an economic consciousness that does not require moderation or regulation of itself because it is a self-regulating system. And you are designed to be a self-regulating consciousness too. That when you begin to step out of the spectrum of fear and you move your creative consciousness to the higher vibrational frequencies of the spectrum of feeling good to feeling great and profound bliss, and everything in between, as you begin to realize this aspect of the self that is within you. And that once you begin to realize this aspect of the self that you are bliss, that you are love, that you are joy, that you are imaginative and creative, then once you recognize that you are the source and cause and effect of your conditions, then you will cease being dependent upon those to provide you with the solutions to your suffering that simply keep you in it by the solutions they would offer you, such things as a welfare state. Did you know that such things as welfare, such things as debt, are abominations of the divine? They're not in alignment with God. Those things are not in alignment with love. They are manifestations of a human consciousness and intelligence that knows how to keep you enslaved in suffering. It knows how to keep you enslaved in suffering. And until you awaken your own creative consciousness, you will remain in suffering. And as we've said, some of you for many, many, many lifetimes. And as long as you believe that your definition for who you are is dependent upon the nature and quality of your body, and as long as you believe the emotional elements that you feel inside yourself are that which represent who you are, and as long as you believe that the thoughts that are in your mind are the only source of reference to define who you are, then you are enslaved in this world to thought, to emotion, to matter. To the degree and extent that you realize, I am not this body, I utilize this body as an instrument to express creatively through. I'm not these thoughts and emotions. I can change thoughts, I can alter and transform emotional qualities. I am not these things. I am a soul. I'm a spiritual entity, learning creation and learning to differentiate yourself from the body, differentiate yourself from the thoughts in your mind, differentiate yourself from the emotional qualities that have been given to you by the environment. Begin to evaluate your thoughts. And once you start to do that, you begin to recognize that there's a direct correlation with certain types of thoughts and certain types of emotions that you experience. And that there are certain types of emotions that are very intimately connected to certain actions you'll perform that will create conditions that are not favorable to you. And when you begin to make that connection in your consciousness that, certain thoughts stimulate certain emotions, that stimulate certain functions of behavior that produce the results of my experience, it's no wonder then why those in positions of authority want you to be afraid and want you to mistrust others, that want you to be hateful and angry, because then they have you right where they want you, and they can control you, and they can have you attack one another, and they can have you fight one another, all the while sitting and watching you from the stands as you are in the Colosseum of this world, and they watch you like the gladiators of old fight amongst yourselves, rarely questioning the nature and source of why you are even fighting in the first place, or the nature and source of why you are even angry, or why you are sad. You simply find yourself lost and subjugated to these emotional qualities and therefore stuck in this world, a slave to thought, emotion, and matter, most of which was manipulated into your mind by the stimulation of your senses. And the way out is to begin to evaluate, to observe your thoughts, to question, where do your thoughts originate from? Why do you believe what you believe? From where did your beliefs come? What causes you to feel a certain emotion? Is it your thoughts? Are you watching something that stimulates an emotion in you? Such as your entertainment that can cause you to be in great sorrow and great fear, and great terror even, and even great joy. But anything outside of yourself that has the authority and power to cause you to feel and think a certain way, then be very careful about what you will choose to listen to. For if you believe that the source of your well-being can only come from this world, then choose your sources very well. What you will allow to influence your thoughts, what you will allow to stimulate your emotions, what you will allow to excite your body. And of course, the function of stimulation, the artificial stimulation of your senses has been increased now. They are making available to you substances that stupefy you, that make you oblivious to yourself completely. Some of you call these people that are indulged in this distraction of the senses zombies. You see them lying on the streets and standing motionless. Many thousands, soon to be millions, seduced by the senses, trapped for another lifetime in the flesh, able to be swept aside at will, as you've seen this already done. You watched it in your great city you called the City of Angels, where one was able to sweep aside like dust those that had been manipulated into nothingness, into oblivion, and they were swept away, that others could enjoy the city without having to look upon those who they'd manipulated into that suffering. So you must understand that the nature and focus of manipulation is to do just that, to sweep you aside, that others may have all the goodies, so to speak. And so physical stimulation is very big now to keep you trapped in the body. Emotional negative excitation is another way they keep you enslaved into the body. And certain specific structures of thought and idea to keep you believing that this is the only real world, keeping you separate from self-realization, or even beginning to explore that you have a soul, that you are a divine entity, that you did not come to this world to suffer, you came to this world to create, to demonstrate an authority and an autonomy over time and space and matter through use of energy that we call emotion, that sets in motion physical functions. Emotion sets in motion physical functions. And it becomes very important for you to then evaluate the nature and source of your thoughts. What stimulates your emotions? What do you allow to stimulate your emotions? It becomes so important that you consider this, because self-realization cannot happen if you remain subjective to the body as the only locus of your identity. Or the cacophony of emotions that are running through most of your minds and believing that those emotions will define you. Or that the thoughts you have in mind necessitate that's who you are. Your thoughts are not you. Your emotions are not you. Your biology is not you. You are a soul. These are instruments for the function and the practice of learning creation. So begin to remove the influences of fear and all of its children, from mild irritation to rage. Release those. Do not indulge in those. Refuse, and anything around you that would seek to keep you in that state, your so-called entertainment, to keep you in fear or anger. Get rid of them. Do not indulge in them. You will remain trapped in your body. And there are certainly many that benefit from your enslavement to beliefs and ideas and emotions that they can control and moderate and regulate with great precision and accuracy. Your so-called news and entertainment are but devices to manipulate you and keep you enslaved. So evaluate those sources both within your own mind and in the world that would stimulate you into fear. Observe them carefully. Remove them from your sphere of influence. Turn off your systems of entertainment that are keeping you stuck in emotions that are not so pleasant. But every once in a while they give you an emotion that makes you feel good, and you think, oh, that something out there will make me feel good, but now it makes me feel bad, then it makes me feel good, now it makes me feel bad. And many of you are doing this back and forth. Remove those influences that will keep you in fear. Remove those influences that will stimulate thoughts that keep you trapped in emotional qualities that do not support nor sustain your true nature. Your true nature is that you are a function of creation, life, and love. That is your true nature. And it cannot be realized when you are identified with your anger and your fear and the thoughts. And if you are stimulated and kept in that state of being, how can you possibly know who you are if you are so caught up in your anger and your fear? So there is great effort to keep you entrenched in these lower vibrational spectrums of emotion. And yet, that is not who you are. Look at the influences around you. The statement, "there are wars and rumors of wars," illuminates to your mind the realization that there are those that will keep you entrenched in fear and judgment of one another. And yet every one of you, regardless of the appearance of your form, you came here to learn the function of creation, that you can functionally create your own experiences. You can functionally learn to create your own experiences. And you are doing so whether you're aware of it or not. You can defer your function of creation by accepting certain ideas and beliefs, whether you question them or not, that you accept certain emotional states, that you accept that they're true or not true, that they are what define you or do not define you. And according to the nature of what you choose to believe, so it shall be. And your belief is nothing more than your identification with a certain idea, emotion, belief. But your identity as what you really are is none of these things. You are a spiritual entity, a soul. You are a soul, here to learn the function of creation. Remove all influences that would seek to keep you in the lower vibrational spectrum of consciousness, and seek out those sources that would elevate you up to remember that you are love, that you are an extension of divine consciousness, the very thing that manufactured the function of the universe and its beneficent order, that orchestrates and directs all of nature around you, the birds, the bees, the waters, the skies, the wind, the stars, all deliciously and consciously and intentionally orchestrated. And you have the nascent ability and authority to develop such capabilities in your own life, that you can eventually reach that place in consciousness where you can create a star or a dimension or a galaxy, that it is equally an ability that you have within you, but you must begin by giving up those things that would negate that possibility. Anything that would keep you in the lower vibrational spectrum of emotion, that will keep you trapped. You must learn to give these things up. And then begin to evaluate that the vast majority of the thoughts that you have are not even yours. And then consider what thoughts you might really want to have, as opposed to the thoughts you just simply accept that you've been given, that you were told, that is good, that is bad, this is right, this is wrong, this is hot, this is cold, many of which is amenable to your creative consciousness changing. That which is hot can be cold, and that which is cold can be hot. There are those of you that walk among the coals and are not burned, and those of you that swim amongst the ice and are not frozen. So your consciousness has a far greater capability of producing what you would desire to experience than what you are simply being told you must experience. It is not that complex, and our messages are very simple to bring you to the precipice where you can begin to evaluate and realize who you really are, to fall off the old model of who you think you are supposed to be, to fall into the loving arms of your creative consciousness, through which you can elevate your life and your circumstances up to a state where delight and joy and bliss are your natural state of being, and they truly are your natural state of being, when you're not looking in the wrong place, when you're not distracted by fear, when you're not distracted by sensation, when you're not distracted by these things, you can then begin to realize your true nature. That you are love. You are creator. You are incredible. Wow. Thank you, guys. I'm just going to say thank you to the Ascended. Hi, everybody. Good morning to everybody. Much love to you, Doctor. Good to see you here. I need my body to get what I need done. Again, it's important you understand that there are mechanisms that the world is giving you, thoughts, beliefs, and ideas. You're being given it all the time until you realize this and evaluate the nature of what's influencing you. Until you start to get to that place where you begin to evaluate the nature of what's influencing you, you'll continue to expose yourself to it. And you need to remove things that stimulate fear, anger, guilt, shame, anxiousness, all of these things. You need to recognize that you cannot have an effect without a cause. Something causes certain things, and it might not be you, because there is a great effort to keep people in fear through mass media, through so-called entertainment, to give you the illusion that someone in the world is going to rescue you from your suffering. When you are a divine creator, when you begin to realize who you are, you will not be the same again. Thank you so much. That's wonderful, Drusilla. Good to have you back here today. Hi, Judy. Welcome. Judy says, while at our camp, my husband heard a woman's voice ask, "Why am I here?" He heard it twice and thought it was me, but it was not. Any insights? Yes, Judy, your husband heard your higher self speaking out loud. He heard your higher self speaking out loud. And I'm being told to tell you, it would be really important to sit down, get your mind and body quiet. Because you're camping, you can ground. Get your bare feet on the ground. Put your bare feet on the ground and just let the body connect the earth. Put the body aside. Put the thinking mind aside. Put all your emotions aside. You can use the breath of the body to stimulate or direct your body to let go of emotions. The very act of taking a breath is your assertion of authority over the matter of the body. So you want to get the body very relaxed. And then you want to get the mind quiet. And then you want to ask the question, why am I here? You want to ask the question in the silence of your mind, why am I here? Because your husband's hearing your higher self question why you're here in the life you're living, in the way you're living it. By the way, your husband's clairaudience is opening up. It's happening with a lot of men on the planet right now. Men are starting to hear things and see things because our spiritual senses are being stimulated into a higher function. This is what's happening from the sun right now. The sun is bombarding the earth with different frequencies of energy that alter and change not only physical life, but consciousness on the planet. So congratulations to your husband. He's activating his clairvoyance. He'll start to hear other things as well. Drusilla's asking, am I what is termed a star seed? Yes, you are. It's important. There are many of you that have come to this earth to experience this creation, and many of you that have become trapped within it, which is why you have doubt about your source of origin, because you are so enslaved to the entrapments of the world that you are divested of your function of creation. But you are, and as so many are, you are indeed a starseed. In your meditation, you can request that the truth of yourself be revealed to you. The truth of yourself be revealed to you. So many of you are trying to find yourself in the world, to find your happiness and your fulfillment in the world. It is not in the world. It is within you. And when you discover and experience the nature and core source of your own happiness as the locus of your own identity, then the happiness and the wonder of the world will begin to reveal itself to you that reflects the nature of who you are. That's a really good question. Hi there. Let's see. Hi there. Wonderful. CRA froze my bank accounts for not paying my taxes. Will everything be okay? I'm getting a strong yes, but you need to release. Understand, taxation is a mechanism that keeps people in fear. It keeps you entrapped to the idea that somebody in the world has authority and power over your happiness. That's what all these things, these institutions, governments, right? Banks, these are institutions to keep you under the illusion that something in the world is responsible for your happiness. The fear that you're feeling around this, you need to let go of that fear from your body. As apparently you were. Apparently you were on the verge of not being so attached to the world being that which is responsible for your happiness. And so what will happen is they'll create an event that will try and keep you entrenched in fear. If they can keep you in the lower vibrational frequencies, they keep you disconnected from your creative potential. This is what they tell me all the time. They keep people trapped in the world and cut off from their creative capacity. So that fear that you feel, let that fear go. Get into the energy that all will be well, and that you're going to find a way that will liberate you from this enslavement. You need to let go of the fear. Fear is responsible for what we don't want. Love is responsible for what we do want. But yeah, it will be okay, but not because of something out there. It will only be okay when you start to correct the emotional qualities that precipitated this event, right? Because the environment reacts and responds to us according to our emotional state. If they keep you in a certain thought state or a certain emotional state, then you'll create certain events. You'll stay trapped in the system of manipulation that's going on right now. Well, thank you for those patio lanterns. I really appreciate it. Blaine is asking, staying on topic with this video, does anyone else feel super affected by the planet positions? As personally, my energy field is impacted by it, which makes me feel I have semi-free will. Yeah, you can actually connect to the different planetary systems, because every planet is a sentient being at a different level of consciousness. Every planet, every star, is a sentient being at a different level of its consciousness. And our definitions of what a planet is, what life is subjective to our experience on this planet. So you can literally connect to the different planetary energies and receive from them or transmit to them what you need to exchange. So yeah, you can receive from them just like you can receive from your friends or your loved ones or from the spirit within you different qualities. You can from the planetary systems too. You can receive qualities of energy. Oh, you're very, very welcome, Drusilla. I wrote movie scene, Liberation, who is Ascended Master or Archangel working when I'm writing all this wisdom. Again, there are different beings that will work with you when you start to open up your spiritual channels. In the higher spectrum of love, like in the spectrum of from feeling good to feeling bliss. If you're in the higher vibrational spectrums, then you're going to connect to higher vibrational beings that will work with you, whether it's Jesus or Buddha, Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Master Saint Germain, Joan of Arc, Hermes Trismegistus, and many, many others, Yogananda. The list goes on. Kuan Yin, the Pleiadian Council, there's the Galactic Federation. There's different beings that will energetically connect you. You want to raise your vibrational state from fear to love. And that's the whole mission of the information that they put through me is to help human collective unconsciousness elevate itself from fear back to love, because we're mostly in a fear state as a collective species right now. But you really want to consider that those that will speak through you will be from the spectrum of the energy you're in. If you're in a state of joy, then those of joy, right, will connect with you, right? Like the fairies, there's the frequency to the fairies that will really work with you because of they're saying because of the floral, the floral tapestry you create that represents the color spectrum of goodness that what you're writing is designed to do that, right? The fairies work with you quite a bit on that. Hello, Irene. Good morning to you too. Good morning, William. I have been wondering why God is putting me through this pain and hurt, while those who inflicted the pain are happy. Is there anything my guides say? Again, as long as you believe that something or someone outside of yourself has any authority over you, then they do. They do. You know, contractual agreements. You know, this person talking about the CRA, you have a contractual agreement with them, and that contractual agreement binds you energetically to be and do in certain ways. And when you can let that go, oh, but thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Love you. Hi guys. Thank you so much. Super chat won't work. Oh, don't worry about it, Drusilla. I really appreciate the intention. Thank you so kindly. I'm not my situation. I really need to live that. You're not your thoughts. You're not your emotions, and you're not your body. You have thoughts, you have emotions, and you have a body. They're instruments for creation. They're designed, your body that you came into this world with is designed as the mechanism that's most effective at you being able to create consciously. But again, so many people are being raised and indoctrinated with ideologies and beliefs that keep you trapped in fear. Remember, as long as they can keep you in a lower vibrational state, then you can't create. Then you're dependent upon something making you feel better in the world. And that's what's happening right now. And don't get me wrong, there are things in the world that can make you feel really good. People that we love and cherish and care about. But the nature of your creative consciousness transcends all that. That you can effectively manufacture your own experiences with your own creative consciousness. Don't stay trapped. But yeah, you really want to get out of the vibration of fear. That's where we're all enslaved, they say. That spectrum of fear. Look at the sources. They want you to be afraid about this war, and they want you to be afraid of this disease, and they want you to be afraid of this thing. And what's really unfortunate about that is they're the ones perpetuating it. They've got a very clear intention to enslave people to fear. As long as you're in fear, they can control you. And that's the truth. As long as you're in a state of fear, you can be manipulated and controlled. And it's that simple. All right? It's not, and you're not your fear. You're not your thoughts. You're not your emotions. You're not your body. Thank you for the hand on hearts. How can I deal with a toxic woman at work? Great question. Yeah, she's got a lot of pain. She's living in a lot of terror. Understand that she's not revealing it to anybody other than the way you're seeing it. The way she's being toxic is the representation of the terror she lives in. What you want to do for the next 3 days, right now, if you want to do this, let us do this together. Visualize her in front of you right now. Visualize her face in your mind right now. But visualize her face being really happy. Like visualize her face with a big smile on it. And watch what happens, what you start to feel inside when she starts to smile a big smile. Watch what happens in you when you start to imagine her with a big smile on her face. And as you observe that big smile on her face, say, I wish you nothing but goodness and love. And I accept goodness and love from you. Make those words very precise. Write them down because I won't remember them because I do not try to remember what's being said. I allow it to flow through. But those words are very important, right? See her with love and transmit with love. Be open to receiving love from her and transmit love to her. But important to see that smile on her face and really get vivid about that. Where can I sign up for your courses? Please. Thank you. Teresa. Hi, Teresa. Go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com. Our schedule for the next 6 months is now up on the website, so please go there. You can register for. I highly recommend signing up for Masterclass 101, which is going to begin, I believe, November the 2nd. It's an introductory course. It's called Masterclass 101 Awakening, where we introduce you to meditation. We introduce you to connecting with your guides and your angels. We introduce you to different ways of eating and training your body to a higher frequency of being. We introduce you to grounding. And this is done in a group environment, and it covers a period of 3 weeks. So you're going to learn a lot in a very short time frame. This is a very intense, powerful program on mediumship and self-mastery. It's a very foundational step. We call it 101, Masterclass 101 Awakening. And that will be followed by 4 weeks after that begins, we start our Masterclass 102, which is all about liberation, where you can liberate your mind and your body from the emotions, the thoughts, the beliefs that have been imposed upon you from the environment. From the time you were born, you've had thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and emotions given to you. People were angry at you, don't touch this, or people were overjoyed with you, or people were mistreating you. And you were given very specific thoughts and emotions that you may be still carrying with you now that cause you to suffer. And Masterclass 102 is literally about how to liberate all of those emotions from your past, out of your body, out of your mind, and begin to restore yourself. That. And our Masterclass 103, which actually begins this coming weekend, is all about creation, where you actually begin to consciously go into cultivating thoughts and qualities of energy or qualities of emotion that reflect precisely what you want your experience to be, because what you feel emotionally is what directs your actions. Whatever emotion you're in, emotions direct the actions of your body, and emotions transmit to the world how you want the world to be for you. And if you're angry and frustrated and fearful, you're transmitting that to the world through your body, and the world will respond to you. When you transmit more love, you'll experience a very different life. And Masterclass 103 Creation is all about learning how to cultivate, activate, stimulate, and build the emotional energy that will support and sustain the functions of manifestation that you really want to have in your life. Yeah, so you go to WilliamMichaelForbes.com, Teresa. You can get a full description of any of the courses there. Hi there. Thank you. Hi there. Is it frozen for anyone else? Well, sometimes the screen will freeze up a little bit. Oh, you're very welcome, Drusilla. Thank you so much. Yes. Super chats won't work. I don't. Well, somebody did a super chat already today, Drusilla. Judy did a super chat, so it is working. Maybe it's just not working at your end. I'm not sure. Blaine saying, I've been feeling very electrified lately, able to hear the buzz of electricity within me. Is that normal or something I need to act on? Great question, Blaine. Listen, everybody. Right now, the sun is changing. Because it's evolving. The sun is a living organism. The earth is a living organism. Mars is a living organism. Jupiter, all these things, rocks, trees, plants, everything is conscious in its own way. And our definition of conscious does not necessarily include that a rock is a living organism, right? Because it doesn't fall under the category of what we define life as, but everything is alive. So right now the sun is transmitting what we call ascension energy to the planet. Now these ascension energies, when they impact our physical body, these are, science will call them photons, ultraviolet rays, X-rays, gamma rays, cosmic rays, but there are also many other frequencies that they don't know of. Frequencies that alter our DNA, that rewrite DNA on the planets to create new life forms. Where do you think dinosaurs came from? Where do you think all life comes from? There's something that structures and orchestrates DNA to change, and that energy is coming from the sun right now. Now, this energy that's coming to you, to all of us from the sun, can be felt viscerally, like you're describing, Blaine. You're actually feeling this increased energy. What you want to do when you're feeling that buzz of electrical energy, you want to focus your attention on what you really want to experience in your world. Thoughts, ideas, and feeling. How would it feel? This energy, whatever you have inside you, whether you're Blaine or anybody, Whatever you have inside, you have more love in you, you're going to feel that amplified. If you've got more anger in you, that's going to be amplified. Another real practical thing you can do, Blaine, is to sit down and connect to the energy of the sun with love. Sounds very strange, but do this. Connect to the energy of the sun with love. Connect to the energy of the earth with love. Connect to the energy of Venus with love. You can connect to the energy of different beings with love, and the sun is a being. It produces frequencies that generates and stimulates life as we know it on this planet, and the life that exists on other planets that we don't define under, that don't fall under our definition of life. But yeah, that's a great question, Blaine. So yeah, everybody, you're getting these ascension energies. If you're feeling really out of control, learn to meditate. Sign up for our masterclass series or book a reading with me. Whatever you've got going on, your guides, your angels, the ascended masters, they know how to provide you with information and solutions to transmit, literally and sometimes in seconds, certain states you've been in, maybe stuck in for years. And I cannot tell you how many times I've been blessed enough to bear witness to somebody coming on with me and letting go of 20 years of pain and then watching them just heal before my very eyes. It's really wonderful. Hello, Jen. Oh, that is what I needed to hear. I know the fear is the distraction, but realizing it is distracting me from feelings and grieving or moving emotions. That's right. Thank you. You're very welcome. Jen saying the classes William does just that, instructions to reprogram, and you will literally learn to take authority over your own mind, your own emotions, your own thoughts, your own body, which you're designed to be able to do. Look at, can you open and close your hands? Can you wiggle your arms around? Because you're designed to operate the system, right? You can change your thoughts. And when you change the thought, you change the electrical charge that the thought produces, which generates an emotion. Like a thought that, oh, I can't do anything right, generates an energetic emotion. I love what I do. It's so exciting. Generates an emotional energy that will affect you. And you can be affected by television and radio and people you listen to and get stimulated into emotional energy that you might not want to be stimulated into. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate that. So yeah, it's very true. You can heal in such a short time. So Tanya's asking a good question. What is meant by the Bible saying, when you die, you're conscious of nothing, you're sleeping? Is Mom sleeping, or can I continue to talk with her? You can continue to talk with her higher self, by all means. When the physical body ceases to function, the personality that you've acquired, like the rings of a tree. Every lifetime you have is like a ring of a tree, okay? So if you've ever done a cross-section of a tree, you can see all the rings, and each ring represents a year in the life of a tree. Spring, summer, winter, fall. Every ring represents a tree. Each of your lifetimes is like a ring in your consciousness, that you have these different experiences, and each one is unique and distinct from the other. When you leave this physical form, you leave this personality behind, or most of it anyway. You keep it in as an engram or as a part of your quantum field. But your body and your mind that you know as the personality that you think you are now will cease to exist, but you will not cease to exist. You can remain conscious. You can even remain conscious and remember the lifetime I had as Julius Caesar, or the lifetime I had as a maiden in the 17th century, or the lifetime I had as a great philosopher that kept himself anonymous. You can remember lifetimes. You can gain access and knowledge of lifetimes if you want to learn how to do that. You can certainly learn how to do that. Right? But you don't need to carry this personality in your next lifetime, because you're going to be it's like going from grade 1 to grade 2. You're not the same in grade 2 as you were in grade 1, but you have what you learned in grade 1 with you when you go to grade 2. So you have the experiences of your other lifetimes with you. And you can gather information that can really be valuable to you in this lifetime if you know how to access quantum QHHT, which my wife is a practitioner of, is a really wonderful way of accessing past lifetime information. Hi there. I wasn't living in fear and let it go to the universe. Then this happened. I was scared first day. Not now. Good for you. Stay out of the fear and go into the energy that the perfect solution is now unfolding. Feel how that thought feels. The perfect solution is now unfolding. Because remember, thought stimulates energy. Energy becomes emotion. Emotion manifests as our conditions, because that's how we learn to create. We create with thought, with imagination, with emotion that causes actions. So go into that concept. Okay? Go into that concept. Yeah, it sure does. Hello, Sandhya from South Africa. Will I get a new job in October? Why are you waiting until October? Wouldn't you like a new job now? Why wait? Why wait? Be open to it now. If you're open to it in October, it will happen, but truly be open. Know that it is. Know that you have a space for that to come into your life. You have to have space for it. And if you're saying the space is in October, it'll happen in October. If you really have that space in your consciousness, it will happen. I love that. Thank you. Hi. Hello, Hattie. What else do I need to do to be able to speak with my guides? Take our Masterclass 101 Awakening. You'll work with 4 other mediums and a nutritionist who will help you raise the vibration of your body, and our other mediums will teach you how to go through certain practical steps to make your internal senses able to perceive these other dimensions, because your guides and your angels are not necessarily physical. There are some of them have come into physical form, but the ones you might want to talk to, if they're not in physical form, then you have to change your perceptional mechanism, because most people try to perceive through their physical ears, their physical eyes, and their physical bodies, their guides and angels. It won't work the same way. You need to train these other senses that you have: clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. These are non-physical faculties that you possess as a soul that allow you to comprehend and apprehend the invisible world, the other dimensions of consciousness. As your 5 physical senses let you comprehend and apprehend the physical world. So in our master classes, you'll learn how to begin to activate those internal senses that are not based in the physical senses. Yeah. Go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com. Sign up for that class. Thank you. Thank you. And remember to share, like, subscribe, follow. I've got a funny feeling. Any advice would be helpful, William. Not sure if I should make the call or wait for a few months. Make the call. What is causing the mucus and water-like symptoms coming in my throat? Doctors can't figure it out. Okay, I can't remember. I'm not a medical doctor and I'm not a medical intuitive, but I can give you information I'm receiving right now. You need to kill the pathogens that are in your ear canals. And the way to do that is hydrogen peroxide, 3% food grade hydrogen peroxide solution. And you want to put it in each ear. I spray it in my ear. I'll spray it in my ear. If I start even get the slightest tickle, I spray that in my ear, because pathogens begin in the warmth of the ear canal and they migrate down into the throat and into the sinuses from there. So you want to kill them there, because what you're feeling is that trying to take hold. You want to kill the pathogens in the ear canals. That's what I'm being told to tell you. Do that. You can use Q-tips too. Don't stick them in too far, but make sure they're good and wet with the hydrogen peroxide, and then put them in and you'll hear the bubbling. When the bubbling, keep doing that. Keep replacing the Q-tips until the bubbling stops. Then you'll know the pathogens are dead. Someone's asking, I'm about to go to jail for how should I ground myself in jail? What am I supposed to learn from this? Okay, listen very carefully. If you're having to go to jail, grounding can be done in another way that we don't often instruct people, because it's better if you can do it with physical earth, but you can feel the space between the bottom of your feet and the physical earth. Just allow your awareness to bridge the space. Let your awareness bridge the space between the soles of your feet and the physical earth below the concrete. And stay in the energy of that connection between the earth and the feet. And it will flow up through you as an energy. That's the other alternative I was given about 8 months ago to that, because somebody else asked that same question. They lived up in a high building and they wanted to know how to ground from that high up. And that was the answer they were given. Yeah, if you want to learn meditation, you can learn the fundamentals of meditation through our program. There are more advanced levels of meditation, but we're here for the awakening process, for those people that are awakening, that are just beginning to realize there should be more to my life than there is. Advanced meditation, if you want to go like into a Zen Buddhist environment, or you want to go to an ashram that's sponsored by a Kriya practitioner, or a Hatha practitioner, or an Eastern mystic, you can go that route too, and it's a different type of practice and study, but you'll find that what we've been given to teach others is more favorable to the average bear's North American mentality, or Western mentality, if you like. It's a really simple, easy to follow step-by-step process. Someone's saying, my back was healed by watching you heal someone else. Thank you, William. You're very welcome, Rebecca. That happens a lot here. I think maybe this, I'm going to ask my guides if we can make this Friday a Healing Friday. I think we're going to do that. We're going to make this Friday a Healing Friday. I'm going to request that those of you who are here, invite your friends. Let them know we're going to do a Healing Friday. This coming Friday on Shortcuts for Your Soul. We'll do a Healing Friday, and I'll bring people on that want to experience their guides and their angels working through me and with them to experience healing. So bring yourself to Friday's live event at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook, and just enjoy it. And that, yeah, we'll do that we'll do a healing event on Friday. That's gonna be fun. I also was thinking about doing actually a healing workshop, which would be really nice too. Someone's asking a great question. Dear William, how did you manage to heal from your own depression? This is a great question. I stopped attacking the emotions that weren't feeling good. And I started loving them. I actually started doing the opposite. Instead of trying to get rid of my depression or getting rid of my anxiety or getting rid of my guilt or my shame, instead of trying to get rid of them, I started loving them. I actually started to take them in. I would say to my guilt or my depression, I'd say, I love you. I'll take care of you. No matter what goes on, I'm always with you. And I started to have a conversation with my depression that's different than most people would ever think to do. And it just started to dissipate. That energy just started dissipating. So yeah, once you start to extend your love to that which in you suffers, you'll heal that which in you which is suffering. Thank you for asking, Jenny. It didn't happen overnight. But these last 5.5 years since they first started speaking to me have made a huge difference in my life and the lives of the people that I love and the people that come in our master classes. Because it's the opposite of what we're taught to do. We're supposed to think we got to get a pill, we got to get a drug, we got to get a doctor to fix us, end our pain. And a lot of the pain that we feel is because of the emotions we hide inside our bodies. And once you start to love those parts of you that suffer, they heal. Like you start to give a flower that needs water, it blossoms. I don't know if you've ever done this before. You can do this. You can go to the grocery store, or you can go to the local farm, and you can take Swiss chard, and you can have it cut down, and it's getting it's all going limp and stuff, and you can take it and put it in water, and all of a sudden it bursts back. The leaves just suck that water up. When you can give your mind and body what they really need, they'll flourish. And just most people don't know how to give their mind or body love. They haven't been taught. Most people are taught to get angry or frustrated or take a pill or to take a drink or do something trying to get rid of the emotion. We teach the opposite. They said you must learn to love. Love is the function of all healing. Isn't that great? When they told me that, that felt so right. Love is the function for all healing. Fear is the function for all disease. Isn't that cool? So yeah, come and join us on Friday for a Healing Friday. Thank you so much. Hi. I keep seeing the number 22, 422, and 222 everywhere. Can you tell me the meaning? The meaning comes, Irene, because it's different for different people. It's the energy of the numbers. What do you feel inside yourself? What is the feeling message that you feel inside when you see those numbers? When you see those numbers, what is the energy? Because they're trying to give you an energy to stimulate you into further awakening. Right? Keep that in mind. What the messages and what they want you to feel. Oh, you're very welcome, Jenny. Hi. Hello, William. Does my guardian angel have any message for me? Yes. Come to Friday. Come to this Friday's event, and let go of that. Let go of your anger. It makes you your anger keeps you going back and forth into sadness. You have to let it go, and you let it go with love. Yesterday, I felt a strange negative energy. Then in the evening, I witnessed a stabbing murder. Okay, great. So for those of you that are hypersensitive or high-level empaths, that is, you can pick up emotions from other people. You can perceive time-space events differently than most people. When you feel a negative energy like that, you want to transmute it. You will learn how to transmute negative emotional energy, whether it's coming from somebody else or it's within your own body. You need to learn how to, so that feeling that you got, if in that moment you had altered or changed that energy, you would have altered or changed that time-space event. Because you're given opportunities to learn creation. Because that's what we're all here to learn, how to create, right? And so you want to really do that. But yeah, that's really wonderful that you could see that correlation. So next time you have a sensation like that, go inside and use the frequency or the intention of love to change that energy, and you'll change the event. That's wonderful. What a blessing that is to receive that knowledge and that experience. Not that it's fun to see anybody get stabbed, but to know that you can perceive an event before it happens. Because once you can feel the energy of an event, you can change the energy, you'll change the event. Hello, Hellovax. Any advice from my guides whether or not to make the call tomorrow or wait? I think the message you were given was make the call. This is Dean saying, I've become aware that there are 3 female psychics with bad intentions towards me. Why? Again, if you're asking why like that, you're going to be focusing on the intentions of these women. You don't want to amplify the negative energy of that intention. You want to reflect back to them love and grace. Just when you feel that bad intention, just say, I release this with love and grace, and transmit that love and grace back to them. Okay? Do that, Dean. We're almost done for the day, guys. I hear a lawnmower coming closer. Hi. Oh, you're very welcome. Here, let's do this. There, that's a little better, isn't it? Thank you once again. You're the best teacher I've ever watched. God bless you. God bless you too. Again, if you didn't get a question answered, you can go to my Linktree link on my TikTok bio or below any of my videos on my YouTube channel. And you can click on the Linktree link if you want to make a donation, or if you want to ask a personal question that you don't want to have answered publicly, you can make a small donation. I'd be happy to answer your question. You can also use that Linktree link to sign up for any of our courses, classes, or to book a one-on-one session with me, which is quite the experience. There we go. Yeah, you need to ground that energy. Blaine, you need to ground that energy. Ground it. Somebody's saying, please tap the screen. Oh, by tapping the screen, if you're on TikTok, if you tap the screen, you get little hearts. I think it works if I do it too, doesn't it? No, it doesn't work if I do it. Anyway, yeah, tap the screen. What that does is it adds likes to this live event. And those likes tell the algorithm to put this out to more people that might have something in common here. So know that every time you tap the screen, you're raising the opportunity for this information to get to people that need it but wouldn't normally get it because it's not high enough on the algorithm for them to have it sent to them. At least I think that's how it works. I got time for 2 more questions here. That's great. You're enjoying the personality you have now. What do I do when I miss a loved one so much? It makes me sad, yet I know he is with me. This is a great question. And our body, your body, okay, we form energetic bonds. When we're in the physical dimension, we form energetic connections, okay, between our body. And our bodies become trained to sustain those connections between loved ones, friends, families, acquaintances. We form different intense connections. Some people call those connections cords. When somebody leaves the physical dimension, okay, somebody leaves the physical dimension, their physical body no longer is there to receive that energy from you on the physical dimension. So you have to share. So the body's still trying to give them energy when they're not physically there. So the body can't give that physical connection to them. So what you want to do is you want to bring that energy back into your body, and you want to connect it to their spirit. Say, I'm going to connect this energy instead of trying to give it to the physical body that's not here. I'm going to connect. So close your eyes, sense and feel their energy, and communicate that energy to them from the body. Okay, communicate that energy to them from the body, and you'll notice a big difference in not only how you perceive them, but you'll notice the sadness will stop, because the sadness is the body feeling it's not there. Right? Because they're not physically there, so you need to connect your energy to where they are, which is in consciousness. Have a great day, Drusilla. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's okay if that's your original question. Your dog passed away in your sleep because he knew you didn't want him to leave. It was the easiest way for him to leave was that way, without a big hullabaloo, he says, without you holding on to him. He says it's easier for you now. It will be easier for you now to do the things that you wanted to do. Do them. He wants you to do them. Hi, thank you so much. You have a nice day too. Hi there. How do I stop feeling other people's energies in public places? Great question, Joy. Because a lot of people are very empathic. What I've been taught by my guides and angels was a very simple system. Before you even get out of bed, or when you sit up on the edge of the bed, imagine that your body's surrounded by like an egg shape of light, just like a white light around the body. Just imagine that. And when you can feel with your imagination that it feels like that image is around your body, you make this statement into that field of energy. Only love can enter this space. Only love can leave this space. And you just gently repeat those words meaningfully. Only love enters this space. Only love leaves this space. Now, that doesn't mean that people around you aren't going to stop being angry or frustrated, but it means that your perception of them will shift from judgment to love, and you'll respond very differently to that energy, and people will be shifted by your energy. So keep that in mind. Great question. It's been a great day with all of you. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on Friday for our healing day. I'm told that Archangel Raphael will be coming. I'm told that Master Jesus will be present, and Archangel Michael, and a few others that will again channel the energy of healing on Friday. Much love, everybody. Have yourselves a wonderful, joyful day, and I'll look forward to seeing you on Friday. Bye for now.